What is up YouTube, and welcome to this Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode 1 breakdown and review and Easter eggs. This was a world away from the meta chaos of WandaVision and was wildly slower as we discover the post-blip world. And the showrunners have said that it's not going to be a theory chaos free-for-all like WandaVision, but hey, challenge accepted. While the episode was slow, it was pure joy and comfort to return to Sam and Bucky, with the latter being one of my favourite characters in the MCU, and one of the most intriguing parts post-Endgame of the MCU, to me at least, is the world post-blip. Before that, I would have said that it would be the time in between both snaps, but sadly we didn't get enough time in that world. I'm hoping we do at some point, to some kind of what if. But the Flag Smashers are possibly the best insight into that, and even our new Captain America, which we will go into detail during this breakdown, as all is not as it seems with him. I see this as a distinct palate cleanser, a sorbet if you will, between WandaVision and when this season really gets going. I mean, it took WandaVision 2 or 3 episodes to really kick into gear. And before we continue into the breakdown, please do consider dropping a like down below if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe with notifications on to never miss a video from us. Now we open with Sam ironing his suit to prepare for his talk at the Smithsonian, presenting the shield to the Captain America exhibit, and I loved how the shield had its own little case, which I imagine is a drum cymbal case, but cute nonetheless. We cut to him on a mission where he's tasked with stopping the LAF from kidnapping someone, as we get a really cool action sequence as he's told to be subtle. Except a guy with a flying robot red wings and a red wing drone is never going to be subtle and needs to save a dude before he's taken to Libya, except the plane has already been hijacked and we learn that Batroc the Leaper has taken it over. Yes, we last saw this character in Captain America the Winter Soldier when he was tasked with hijacking the boat with the Project Insight information and fought Captain America only to escape, except, well, S.H.I.E.L.D. managed to pick him up, and I imagine he escaped at some point and is now a mercenary for hire once more. He's of course played by the legendary UFC fighter George St. Pierre and has deep roots in the comics. The character debuted in Tales of Suspense 75 in 1966. He fought Captain America many times as he formed the Batroc Brigade, and later fought Sam Wilson when the Leaper was defending a machine used to draw an Inhumans boy's blood that Hydra wanted to use to sterilize the world when Sam took over the Captain America mantle. Now the action is superb as Sam fights on the plane, but the criminals escape with their target as Sam gives chase and uses Red Wing to take down the choppers that chase him. Of course, that is a reference to the actual animal Falcon that Sam Wilson had in the comics. It's getting close as Wilson's guy on the ground is getting concerned, but Sam does an amazing maneuver into the chopper and flies through and saves the target as the chopper explodes as the Leaper leaps out with his wingsuit. Get it? Yeah, anyway. I also loved how Sam earlier jumped into a chopper and was like, hey guys, I imagine this isn't the last we've seen of a Leapy boy himself. But we cut to Tunisia as Sam is working on his wing and Torres talks about the Flag Smashers. Now, Torres here actually has his debut in the Marvel Comics in 2015 in Sam Wilson, Captain America #1. He was kidnapped by the Sons of the Serpent, a racist group who wanted to divide America, and he was sent to Carl Malus to have experiments done on him. However, he later went on to be saved and went on also to become the next Falcon in the comics. So it's interesting here that our boy is passing on the torch while also trying to accept the torch from his mentor. I really did like that. Now, the Flag Smasher in the comics was Karl Morgenthau. I've probably butchered that name. He was the son of a wealthy Swiss banker turned diplomat. He travelled the world and learned martial arts. His father died in a riot outside the Latvian embassy. After this, he became the Flag Smasher and used violence to tear down borders and nationalism, seeing that his dad was doing things the wrong way by doing it peacefully. Other people took the mantle, but it's evident that this is the big guy at the Swiss bank who beats up Torres later in the show. Now, the character in the comics later founded Ultimatum, a perfect society, but found out it was funded by the Red Skull. And I do really think that Zemo is the one behind this, considering his goals of destroying heroes. And the Flag Smashers here want to bring down borders and believe that life was better during the blip. And Sam says that there's always a bad time for someone, and yes, that makes sense. And Torres confirms that the times were not better during the blip at all, something Sam wouldn't know as he was, not existing for 5 years. Now, Torres promises to look into it and stay safe, and I found it funny when he mentions the Steve Rogers conspiracies that he's on the moon, which for some reason reminded me of the Watcher's base of the moon that we saw during Original Sin, as Sam goes back to Washington to hand over the shield to the Smithsonian Captain America exhibit. Surprised that didn't get ripped out post-Civil War when he was public enemy number 1. He talks how symbols have meaning, but they're only given meaning by the people behind them, and essentially he doesn't feel worthy and doesn't feel like the shield is made for him. But again, it is a symbol, and I think that over time we're really going to see him learn the role of Captain America and decide that he really needs to take up this role, as well, Captain America saw something within him. Now, the same man who told him he did the right thing, handing over the shield, was the one who introduced the new Captain America at the end. They needed the shield to add legitimacy to the new Cap. I really liked how that paid off at the end. I liked the scene of Rhodey trying to convince Sam to take over the mantle of Captain America, and I really liked seeing these two interact, as or at least these TV shows are giving us a chance to see characters in the MCU interact, which we really didn't see too much of in intricate detail in the movies. And it's funny that they are on the opposite teams of Civil War. Now, Rhodey says how the world has gone crazy and things are not the same. And I really, really did like that. And it's going to be curious to see where they go next with this character. And it's nice to see him take the elder statesman role within the MCU as like a mentor to Sam. Now, one scene that was jarring was how we saw Bucky as the old assassin Winter Soldier as he fights people and says "Hail Hydra" as he kills an innocent bystander. That bystander would later come back to haunt him later in his life, as it was all a dream, and he's in therapy as we learn that he's been pardoned but has to have therapy and has been told to make amends for his past and cross names off the list of the people that he hurt. He talks about how he tried to make it right with a person called Senator Atwood, who he helped get into power as the Winter Soldier, and since the Hydra collapse, he's been abusing her power. He's tired and is finding the downtime hard. He's been fighting constantly for 90 years, except for some calm in Wakanda. I would have liked to see more of his time in Wakanda. Same with WandaVision. I would have liked to see Vision's body taken from Wakanda and how Shuri got on, but hey, we're not getting everything we want. He feels he has no purpose, which makes sense, and I imagine he will soon come into a mission stopping Zemo and the Flag Smashers. I do expect that Zemo is behind those people. He comes across an older guy, Rory, and we later learn that Rory's son died in mysterious circumstances, and Bucky is keeping him company. I thought he was some old war ally at first, but he manages to get a date with a waitress, and Sebastian Stan is really, really good as Bucky here. I swear he gets better with every turn, and I'm very, very excited for Sam and Bucky to unite once more, as they were some of the highlights of Civil War. Now, Sam returns home to Louisiana, and we finally meet his family and learn that his family has a fishing business, and his sister is planning on selling it, but he wants to put it right and get a loan, consolidate the debt, and such. But he's been gone. Not only was he gone when he joined the military, but he was gone during the blip, and she says he has no idea what it was like. And now Bucky goes on his date, but he eventually learns that the guy he killed all those years ago was Rory's son in a really powerful moment. I imagine he already knew that and he was trying to make amends in secret, but it was just too much when he learned just how much Rory changed over time. I always wondered how they would deal with an assassin who killed countless people and how he can be adjusted in society, and it's kind of sweet how he's trying to make amends, but yeah, it's a really, really good story there. Now, Sam goes to get the loan, except it's fruitless. The bank worker may be an Avenger fanboy, and I thought it was hilarious how he asked Sam how he made money as an Avenger. I guess in the MCU they don't have their Avenger salary or membership card like the comics. The world has changed forever and they can't get a loan as Sam has no income for 5 years. Well, he's not been existing. And it goes to show, even if you help defeat Thanos and or an Avenger, the banks will still screw you over. But we cut to the Flag Smashers as Torres investigates them and he comes across a meeting at some kind of flash mob. I mean, do they still have flash mobs? And is handed a mask by a new character. That actress was in Solo and was the bait and switch villain. Hey, it looks like they're doing this for a second time here for that actress. But this was all a trick as he's given masks to cover for the leader who he escaped from the bank, and Torres later tells Sam all about it. Now, one thing is interesting that we do have this guy have superpowers, so it would be interesting if that maybe during the blip we know that Vision was being worked on by, of course, Hayward. So what if other kind of DoD places were handing out the super serum to people, and that is how this guy got it and then decided to join the Flag Smashers, although there is the idea that Zemo could be behind it all. But yeah, it's interesting. However, on the TV we're introduced to the new Captain America. Of course, this is the MCU debut of US agent John Walker. Now, in the comics, John Walker gained his powers from the Power Broker and became the Super Patriot. Angry with Captain America as he felt that Captain America has lost his ideals, he would actually later take the mantle of Captain America when it was vacated by Steve when he went on to become Nomad. He was also a member of the Thunderbolts and the Dark Avengers, and it's only a matter of time before the Department of Defense puts together their own version of the Avengers. Perhaps the US Avengers, while nothing like the comic US Avengers. I imagine the DoD will use his cap along with upcoming heroes or reformed villains. Maybe they'll use Ghost and other characters like that. Personally, I think this is a smell of air of a false flag by Zemo. Not a concrete theory there, but I think we will only start to learn where this goes next once we see the next episode and Zemo comes into the show. But that is it for this video. Please do drop a like down below. Please do subscribe with notifications on if you want more from us, and I will be putting up more videos in the week. Tomorrow I'll be doing my episode 2 preview, and thank you for watching and have a very, very nice day. Goodbye.